Get ready for the dictation. Start. We have extended our required consideration to few facts and the submissions made. The materials on record leave no manner of doubt that the complaints filed by the respondents stem from two identical transactions between the same parties, whereunder the respondent had advanced loan of rupees 5 lakhs each to the appellant on two different dates, against which the latter had issued checks to discharge his debt, and that the checks had been dishonored. The facts pleaded and proved do unassailably demonstrate that the loans advanced had been in the course of a series of transactions between the same parties on same terms and conditions. Significantly, in both the cases, following the conviction of the appellant under Section 138 of the Act, the same sentences as well have been awarded. There is thus an overwhelming identicalness in the features of both the cases, permitting the two transactions, though undertaken at different points of time, to be deemed as a singular transaction or two segments of one transaction. This deduction understandably is in the singular facts of the case. The custody certificate dated 6/5/2016 issued by the Deputy Superintendent of Prison, Central Jail Number 5, Tihar, New Delhi, appended to the appeal petition mentions that the appellant, on being convicted in the complaint cases referred to herein above under Section 138 of the Act, is serving out the sentences awarded, and that the period of his custody is as hereunder: 25/2/2015 to 13/12/2015 as convicted in CC number 430/11, 14/12/2015 till date, that is 6/5/2016 as convicted in CC number 407/11. That meanwhile the appellant had been on interim bail for 10 days from 5/10/2015 to 14/10/2015 as granted by the High Court, has also been stated. The law on the orientation of two sentences awarded to an offender following his conviction successively, to define the cumulative duration thereof, is envisaged in Section 427 of the Code of Criminal Procedure 1973 in following terms: sentence on offender already sentenced for another offence. When a person already undergoing a sentence of imprisonment is sentenced on a subsequent conviction to imprisonment or imprisonment for life, such imprisonment or imprisonment for life shall commence at the expiration of the imprisonment to which he has been previously sentenced, unless the court directs that the subsequent sentence shall run concurrently with such previous sentence. Provided that where a person who has been sentenced to imprisonment by an order under Section 122 in default of furnishing security is, whilst undergoing such sentence, sentenced to imprisonment for an offence committed prior to the making of such order, the later sentence shall commence immediately. When a person already undergoing a sentence of imprisonment for life is sentenced on a subsequent conviction to imprisonment for a term or imprisonment for life, the subsequent sentence shall run concurrently with such previous sentence. Though this provision has fallen for scrutiny of this court umpteen times, we can profitably refer to one of the recent pronouncements in V.K. Bansal versus State of Haryana and another 2013 7 SCC 211, where it was held that though it is manifest from Section 427(1) that the court has the power and discretion to issue a direction that a subsequent sentence shall run concurrently with the previous sentences. The very nature of the power so conferred predicates that the discretion would have to be exercised along judicial lines or not in a mechanical or pedantic manner. It was underlined that there is no cut and dried formula for the court to follow in the exercise of such power, and that the justifiability or otherwise of the same would depend on the nature of the offence or offences committed and the attendant facts and circumstances. It was, however, postulated that the legal position favors the exercise of the discretion to the benefit of the prisoners in cases where the prosecution is based on a single transaction, no matter even if different complaints in relation thereto might have been filed. The caveat as well was that such a concession cannot be extended to transactions which are distinctly different, separate, and independent of each other, and amongst others where the parties are not the same. Stop.